Right now at noon, a solar company email sparks controversy at a Cherokee County Commission meeting.
And a few lingering showers for some of us. Otherwise, we are staying hot for the next few days. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, day 2 of the government shutdown is underway with no sign of a potential deal yet. We'll have the latest.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. A Joplin dentist enters a plea deal in a fatal hit-and-run case from August 2023. John Joseph II pleads no contest to interfering with law enforcement after a crash that killed 60-year-old Gary LaTurner in Cherokee County, Kansas. Now, according to authorities, John's then 19-year-old son, Rocco, was the driver and lone occupant of the vehicle that hit LaTurner. Prosecutors say both John and Rocco returned to the crash scene but failed to report the incident to authorities. John Joseph II will be sentenced November 19th and could face up to 13 months in prison and a $100,000 fine. As part of the deal, prosecutors dropped a second charge of contributing to child misconduct. Well, an email creating concerns over zoning and landowner rights prompts heavy attendance at last night's Cherokee County Commission meeting. Tensions rose over a proposed 255 megawatt Rainbow Springs solar project. Now, in July, we told you about a Wichita State University study showing the project could generate $532 million in economic growth and $38 million in new government revenue. The company offered $5 million to the county over 10 years and promised to repair local roads, but many residents remain opposed. And zoning changes weren't on last night's agenda, but commissioners addressed the issue due to the large crowd. The Planning and Zoning Board had previously said it would have a comprehensive plan completed by next summer before making a final decision on whether large commercial solar projects will be allowed in Cherokee County. Now, part of that process includes public meetings to discuss potential zoning restrictions, which are now set for the end of the month on October 27th, 28th, and the 30th. And decades of benzene contamination from a former Miami tire plant prompts a public meeting October 14th. Michelin North America will host the session at the Bruce G. Carter Student Union to discuss contamination from the former B.F. Goodrich facility. The plant used and stored benzene during its production years from 1944 to 1986, contaminating groundwater. Michelin launched cleanup efforts in 2022, and at the meeting on October 14th, company and state environmental officials will answer community questions. Let's take it over now to Chris Warner for a look at today's forecast.
Yeah, thanks to some of those showers, we had even a couple of thunderstorms early this morning. We have some lingering clouds here and there, but it's not stopping us from warming up. Of course, live look downtown Pittsburgh. We're head over to the MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin as folks get their day, or get their lunch hour rather, underway. They got their day underway, many of them at least very early this morning. Here's what's left. Just a couple of stray showers out here, parts of Elk and Chautauqua counties. We've got one lone shower up here northwest of Chanute, and that's really it. We had that line of storms that developed out there, and then we get that nice-looking radar glitch from Wichita, but it just really fell apart, as was the expectation, and it's just left a few clouds here and there. We started yesterday at 58, made it up to 86, 10 degrees above normal on that, but again, not quite the record levels, but our temperatures will continue to heat up. Now, back where it's been a little cloudier, a little rainier, like Yates Center, you're at 73, 74 in Iola and Chanute. And then we head east. Goodness, we head east, and now we're already getting into those low to mid 80s ahead of highs that are going to end up pushing into the upper 80s in most cases. Still around 80 by 7 o'clock. Clear skies expected through the evening. Low 70s by 11, and temperatures remaining well above average overnight. We're going to talk how long this lasts and when we might get some relief here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the Miami Public Library showcases a local artist every month, and this month, the work of Sean Gray is up for all to see. Gray has been painting since he was a child and is passing his passion on to his kids. Art runs in his blood since he's a descendant of Gene Autry and Will Rogers. Sean Gray enjoys painting landscapes.
One of them is inspired by a location. I like to think of it as the Cherokee homeland out east, North Carolina, Georgia, that kind of area, the Appalachians.
Now, if you're a local artist and would like your work showcased, you can contact the Miami Public Library for more. And the 42nd Annual Pelican Festival is set to make its return this weekend. KOAM's Mitch Adams gives us a preview.
The Grand Lake Association is in preparation for another Pelican Festival. While the birds land on the waters of Grand Lake, people will have fun and celebrate their migration.
And they've landed here. They're already here. The Pelican Festival was started, like I said, 4 decades ago, 42 years ago. So.
One of the main draws is a carnival, but other festival staples will also be on site.
Food, we've got arts and crafts, we have a caricature artist, we have free entertainment Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night under the tent in the park. Have a car show that the Grove Masonic Lodge is putting together for us to be there, and of course the huge carnival.
The Pelican Festival serves as an end to the summer season and brings the community of Grove together.
We just do our best. We bring things that we feel like people will enjoy, and we just hope that they have a good time with their family and their friends and family, and come back again next year.
Reporting in Delaware County, Oklahoma, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Festivities will start tomorrow and go through Sunday afternoon at Wolf Creek Park. And the Parsons Police Department and the Fire Department are gearing up for the 4th annual Parsons Public Safety Fair this weekend. The free event aims to help educate community members on safety with hands-on learning and demonstrations.
The difference is this year is we married up with the Chamber of Commerce, and they're holding the Arts Festival the same day, so we're looking to exchange both traffic from their event and our event.
The fair takes place this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the police department, and at 6 p.m. there will also be a candlelit vigil for domestic violence victim Abigail Winters. And make sure to join us on the free KOAM Plus TV streaming app this Friday night at 7. Tune in to watch the Joplin High School Eagles take on the Carthage Tigers on the football field. This is a big matchup as the JHS's homecoming game. Catch all the action on the KOAM Plus app, free to download for Roku, Apple TV, and your smart TV. And coming up, an update on major construction at Missouri Southern. And later, we're making Lone Star steak and potatoes in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Missouri Southern State University is giving a behind-the-scenes look at the construction underway on campus. The school's Board of Governors got to see the work being done on the Future Welcome Center and the Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center. Now, crews officially broke ground on this site in April 2024. The Health Science Center will offer students immersive learning opportunities, including a simulated hospital featuring radiology, a NICU, and critical care rooms.
To the level that we know that they need and that we want them to have. And that's really what's transforming. Our curriculum and our core tenets and all the work we already do will stay the same, but we're transforming how we deliver that, and it's going to change how our healthcare practitioners in the area practice.
The lead architect of the project says they plan to have substantial completion by the end of March. And the Joplin Public Safety and Justice Center in Joplin will temporarily close its doors to its public entrances this week. Starting at 3 p.m. today, entrances to the police and fire departments along with municipal court will be shut down for construction. Crews will be working on the sidewalks and public entryways. The building is scheduled to reopen next Monday at 8 a.m. Now, city officials say the work of these departments will continue on as normal, but residents are asked to handle business by the phone during the closure. And the Trump administration says federal layoffs will soon be coming if the government shutdown continues, and with no negotiations currently taking place, that looks more and more likely. Natalie Brandt has more details from the White House.
President Trump says today he'll meet with the head of the Office of Management and Budget to talk about further cuts of federal agencies as a result of the shutdown, posting, "I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity."
We're going to look at agencies that don't align with the administration's values, that we feel are a waste of the taxpayer dollar. And look, unfortunately, these conversations are happening because we don't have any money coming into the federal government right now.
The administration has already targeted billions of dollars in funding for infrastructure projects in New York, and threatened climate-related funding in more than a dozen blue states is next.
Sources tell CBS News the head of OMB told House Republicans on a call Wednesday that federal layoffs or reduction in force will happen in the next couple of days.
That's something that the Office of Management and Budget and the entire team at the White House here, again, is unfortunately having to work on today.
He just wants to impose pain on Americans because he thinks that Democrats actually care and that Democrats will be forced to back down.
Despite congressional leadership at a stalemate,
there's no negotiation right now.
There were signs Wednesday of bipartisan conversations among rank-and-file lawmakers trying to find a way forward.
There's a lot of bipartisan hope that we can make this shutdown as short and costless as possible.
No votes are scheduled today due to Yom Kippur, but votes are expected in the Senate on Friday. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
If you and your family are big meat and potato lovers, then put down the remote and watch carefully.
And we've still got a bunch of warm weather hanging on for us. We'll tell you when it's going to come to at least somewhat of an end and when we might get more rain chances when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon on what's been an interesting day, but nonetheless for many of us a very warm, downright hot day, at least for October standards. Let's take a quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh, and you can see where we've got some clouds here and there, and that's courtesy of those showers and storms we had earlier. What we've got now is just a few lingering showers, primarily in the Elk and Chautauqua counties. We got a couple here north of Chanute, but that's really about it at this particular point. We had that line developed right around I-35, pushed off to the east-southeast, and this is about all that's left of it. So it kind of died out as expected, which was good. But we do need more rain. We just aren't going to get what we need for a little while. So it has, though, resulted in a few extra clouds out there today. So we're going a little more partly cloudy, a little less sunny, but that's also all right because it's going to be warm enough. It doesn't need any assistance with that. As we head into Friday, again, maybe a cloud or two, but we should be looking at clear skies by tomorrow. And we'll stick with those as we go overnight and into our Saturday. In fact, on Saturday, there's so little on the future track other than the clock running, you can't really tell that anything's happening out there. So again, it's just going to be very warm and dry for the next several days. So we're looking at, again, at those partly cloudy skies thanks to all that rain. Still looking at highs for most of us into the upper 80s. And as we showed you earlier, though, some of our western counties and communities, the 8th Center, Chanute, Iola, you're a little cooler. And you may not warm up as much as everyone else because of the clouds, because of that rain that came in earlier. But the majority of us still going upper 80s, even a couple of 90s, still not out of the question. But out west, we got some of that rain clouds. Doing a little better today. South winds 5 to 10. Looking at clear skies still overnight tonight, mid-upper 60s, so staying quite mild. Southeast winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour for us. And as we head into our Friday, we're still again looking at clear skies, maybe a cloud or two, still into the upper 80s. Now, because we're not looking at as much cloud cover and we have at this time no rain chances tomorrow, I think everybody's going to be able to get into the upper 80s, which also means it does increase the chance of a couple more 90-degree readings, especially in our southern counties out there. South breeze at around 5. Oops, I hit the wrong button there. I'm sorry. Around 5 to 10 miles an hour. So now we go down the road. Here's where things get, somewhat interestingly, somewhat good news, I should say. We're going to stay pretty warm through the weekend, mid-80s. So as we've talked about, there's all these different things that are going on. Pumpkin patches, corn mazes, spook houses, all these fall activities that you usually have to dress warmly for. You do not want to do that if you've got anything planned this weekend as we stay in the mid-80s out there. Now, a weak cold front comes in Sunday into Monday. Doesn't really have much associated with it other than it starts to drag our temperatures down a little to around 80. Now remember, average high here, we're talking low mid 70s, so we're still not there yet. But then we still have those slight rain chances. Again, we need them to be better rain chances. They just aren't better rain chances at this point. But we still have those. We still have that system next week. And that's going to bring our temperatures down again. Still not where they're supposed to be for this time of year, but considerably better. I'll take 78 beats 88 any day of the week, especially for October. But our overnight lows next week, though, start to dip back down to fall-like levels. So some chilly starts and mild days.
I know, it's kind of hard to look almost midway through October and be like 77 is almost getting there. It's the coolest it's going to be.
Yeah, that's the coolest we're going to get here for a little bit. So let's have to deal with it, I guess, for now.
All right, sounds like a plan, Chris. Thanks. Well, stick around. We're making Lone Star steak and potatoes in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, today's Mr. Food recipe is a hearty all-in-one dinner dish. Let's check in with Howard, who's making Lone Star steak and potatoes in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you and your family are big meat and potato lovers, then put down the remote and check this out. We've got a dinner combo that starts with a homemade spice blend that we mix once and use twice. All we do is mix together some chili powder, cumin, garlic powder, oregano, salt, and for a kick, some cayenne and black pepper. And if you don't like things spicy, you can always skip the cayenne. We take a bit of the spice blend and mix it with some olive oil and toss that with some thick cut potatoes. Spread them on a baking sheet and put them in the oven. While they're baking, we coat a sirloin steak with more of our homemade spice blend. Using the same seasoning twice saves us prep time and gives us a lot of flavor. Now that our potatoes are done, we've covered them and put them on the bottom rack to stay warm while we broil our steak. This is just going to take minutes. With your sizzling steak and potatoes done at the same time, all you have to do is slice it and team it with your favorite veggie for a hearty dinner that's easy enough to make any night of the week. So go ahead and try our recipe for Lone Star steak and potatoes tonight, so you can add some pizzazz to boring meat and potatoes with a spice blend that does double duty. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for an easier way for you to say, "Ooh, it's so good."
You can find this recipe for Lone Star steak and potatoes along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. All you have to do is go to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com under the Mr. Food tab. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so we've got the above normal temperatures continuing across the area into the weekend, staying in the mid to upper 80s. And then we get a little relief next week, falling back into the upper 70s, still above normal, but much better than the upper 80s.
I guess you could say that.
I mean, it's better to reach that than reach 90.
Trending in the right direction.
Right, exactly. Chris, thanks. Davidia for Slater on.
Well, lots coming up at 5. For starters, nearly 100 people on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship fell ill from the norovirus, a very contagious stomach infection. We're going to have some tips on if you get sick at sea. Plus, we're going to hear from Pittsburgh's mayor on the city's future plans and progress at this year's State of the City address. And last week, we reported on how Jasper County had the highest birth rate in the state of Missouri. Well, today we're going to hear from local leaders on why they see this data as a positive sign for the community. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
Lots to look forward to. Dow, thank you. That's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.